presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St.
Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. Welcome to the Wednesday edition. How are you today? How are you handling after yesterday? If you did not see yesterday's show, I am sorry. I have deleted it, and I'm going to leave it at that. It is. I took it down. I have my reasons. I'll just leave it at that. But it's good to be back. It's good to be here. I'm hoping to have a special show. I've sent some contacts out to my guest, my hopeful guest, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to show up. I'm kind of going to be keeping an eye on the link that I sent him. And it shows he's active, so hopefully he'll be able to see it and jump in and join us. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good thing to talk about. Unfortunately, Ashley had something personal come up today, and she's not going to be able to join us. I know she's okay, but just she has something that's going to make it too hard for her to come on the show. We miss you, Ashley. We wish you the best. We can't wait for you to come back, and I mean that with all my heart and soul. I just can't wait to see you back here. And I don't know who's watching it. The numbers are very low right now, and that's just what they is. And this show is what it is. We're a decent hockey show. We like to talk about Blues. We'll talk about all hockey. I got knowledge. I'm not extensive, but I got enough knowledge. I could learn a little more. I could study a little more. I could watch a little more. I could do a little more things. I could be better. I absolutely could be better. I admit that. I'm not sure who this is, but they're saying have a good show, my man, my guy. I appreciate that. I absolutely do. Thank you so much. In the show today is supposed to be about hockey and mental health. And in recent years, we have heard a lot. He's not in the St. Louis area. He's not. My guest is not in the St. Louis area, so I do know that St. Louis got rocked with a little bit of weather. I do know that. But my guest is not in the St. Louis area. I actually think he's in Canada, on the east coast of Canada, to be exact. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I've reached out. I'm hoping that something will come up. I really do. Because I think it'll be fun. If it doesn't, we'll reschedule. I'm sure he'll be fine with that. And let me look at something here real quick. I'm trying to look at something, so forgive me. Okay, this is what it's got his puck support, mental health, and addiction. I need to go. Okay, this is his store. Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's up in Canada. So, with luck, he's going to be on with us. So I've sent out the invites. I've hopefully got the right things and the links, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping he'll show up. I'm hoping more people show up. It does. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Jason Nichols, Chris Shockley, both. Thank you so much, man. I love you guys. I really do. Right now, this is the dead part of hockey. We're about training camp's going to probably start right about the middle of September, right? The two teams, and I can't remember who they are, that are going to Europe to play will probably start a little bit closer to the beginning of September. But we're a little over a month and a half from training camp, right? I'd say about a month and a half. I could see the season starts on the 11th. I could see training camp being about a month, so August 11th. So right at a month and a half. And there's some things right now, to be honest, the majority of the crew out there is going to look at this Blues team has a team that is regressed. They're not going to look at this Blues team as a team that's going to challenge for a division. And I think that's so wrong. I really do. You know what, Shockey? I think that this is a Hoffman issue. This is a Hoffman thing to me, right? This screams of the Mike Hoffman deal. It really does. It absolutely does. It screams of the Mike Hoffman deal. Mike Hoffman, when he went to free agency with the flat cap, you know, he wanted this huge sum of money, this 7 million a year, or for 4 years, 5 years, whatever it was, and nobody was paying it. Nobody was paying it. He ended up coming to the Blues for a 1 year, $4 million deal. He bet on himself, and then he went and signed a deal that wasn't much more for 2 years in Montreal, and now he's in Montreal hell. You know, I think that the Kadri deal is the exact same in my eyes. I think that Kadri has priced himself out of the market. He's going to have to take a very low deal with a team that's not going to go anywhere. Right? That's a good point, Assad. That's a good point. Oh man, today's show is going to be hard. I really wish my guest was here. I really, really do. Especially after the debacle of yesterday. Oh my goodness. Kyle Hauser, thank you so much. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm still keeping an eye on this over here to see if I can get him to pop up. I mean, he's still showing his active, but I haven't heard from him or seen him pop on the link. So I honestly don't know what to say. I don't know if I missed something or we got our wires crossed or something like that. He uses Instagram. Wish Shaggy was here. I saw the Islanders trying to trade a 70-point guy to make room. That makes no sense. Right? And it's possible. You know, I don't think Kadri's ever going to score the amount of points that he scored this year. I don't think he'll ever do that again. I really don't. Absolutely don't. Right? I absolutely don't. You know, and I, you know, to me, I can't look past what the things Kadri's done, right? It's that, you know, one aw shit ruins 1,000 attaboys. Well, the problem is Kadri's got a ton of aw shits. So how many attaboys does that ruin? And if he ruined all those attaboys, you know, why, you know, at that point, why should anybody take a chance on him? Right? You know, that's just how I feel. Right? You know, and is what it is. Todd says, you think Avs losing Kadri could help? Oh, absolutely, I do. Well, it does because it takes some of that away, right? Not in my case, my friend. I effed up a lot, and I never moved up. I moved down. So, Shocky's with me. I get it, man. Actually, you know, Shocky, I just found out something today, and I seen something in the Blues Warriors, the Hockey Warriors, you know, they're got an event coming up, Mid-State Hockey up in on September 11th, 2022. They have a charity tournament going on in Jefferson City. Let me see if I can come up with that real quick. Uh-oh, I heard that. Was that who I wanted? Oh, no, wrong dot, but give me a second. Let me bring this other thing up. Hey, Lance, man, how you doing, bud?
I don't know what's going on. It's not listening to me.
I can hear you. You sound like a robot. You're roboting again. You with me there, Lance? Nope, he went out. Hefner, hi, bud. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So here is here. Bring it up here real quick. There we go. Pull this down, and this is the event. It's in my group. You can check it out. Hawaii Blues Fan Clan, and this a quick little display they've got on this thing. Hopefully you guys can see that. The Mid-State Warrior Hockey Charity Games. Please, if you can, go to my, oops. I screwed something up. There we go. Go to my website and check it out. Or not my website. Go to my page and check it out. We would greatly love it. And thank you for it very much. Here we go. Hey, Lancer, how you doing, my friend?
Not too bad. How are you?
Oh, better. You sound better.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I'm doing better now than I was a couple hours ago.
The time you came on, you sounded like a robot. Yeah, you had that break. You know that little break that we get sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had that. I'm still waiting on my guest. I don't know what's going on. I see him being active on Instagram. I sent him the link, so it's the best you can do. Sometimes you just have things that don't work out right.
Yep.
Right, and you deal with it. What I was talking about earlier was Kadri going to, where's Kadri going? And to me, Kadri is right now a Hoffman deal. Right? Kadri is a Hoffman deal.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to get what he wants. And I've seen a lot of Islanders fans saying we need him. It's going to make us a playoff contender, but they're not really thinking to give him up, to sign him. They're going to have to trade, one or two guys to make room for him. Number one. Number two, he only averaged, I think, 41 points a year his previous 4 years before this last breakout year. And he'll be 31 soon if he's not already 31. And guys tend to not get better. I mean, a lot of guys prime are between 27 to 31, 32. So, he's wanting a 7-year contract. And if I'm the Islanders, I don't give it to him. I give him a 1 year, prove you can still be a top guy without all that talent around you, because he's not going to have the talent around him in New York, and that's not a ditch against the Islanders. It's just the fact.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I absolutely see that. For me, the thing with Kadri, and I said it earlier, but you didn't get to hear it. I remember the old military saying, 1,000 attaboys is ruined by one aw shit. Well, how many aw shits has he had?
Mm-hmm.
And at what point does the one season doesn't cover all those aw shits?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't. And now that he's got his cup, why would he go back? Why would he change? He's not gonna change. And he gets on another team. He was on a team with some good solid leaders. When he's the leader, he's gonna put an elbow in somebody's ear.
Yeah,
he's gonna take somebody's knees out.
I don't want to lose Tarasenko, but if I'm Lou and if I'm Lou Lamoriello, I'm gonna look at it this way. Tarasenko's proven when healthy, he's a 30 to 40 goal scorer every year. Kadri hasn't proven that over time. And yeah, Tarasenko's about a year older, somewhere around there, 8 months. And I don't want to see Vlad go, but if I'm Lou, I'm talking to the Blues trying to work something out, because he's going to be much better in the locker room. He's not going to do bonehead stuff that could get him suspended 4 games, 6 games, 8 games, 10 games.
Yeah.
And there's always that chance. And I'm going to tell you, the players on that team would like Vladimir Tarasenko in their locker room a lot more than they're going to like Kadri in their locker room.
I don't think Tarasenko's ever been suspended.
No, I don't think so either. Not that I can remember.
I don't think Tarasenko's ever been suspended. I don't think he's even had a fine.
I think he may have had a fine.
I don't even think he's had a fine. I don't know how to look that up. I don't know
I
where to
can
look
look
that
it
up.
up. Just give me a second.
Yeah. I honestly don't think he's even had a fine.
Because I thought he had a fine or a game or two suspension at one time.
No, I don't think he's ever been suspended or has he had a fine. I don't think he's ever been before the disciplinary board. I can't think of a time. I really can't. Maybe he has. I just can't think of a time.
Yeah, let me look it up here real quick.
He didn't win the Lady Being, but he's been nominated for it. He's been a finalist for it. He's been a finalist for the Lady Being, which is the one for the least amount of penalty minutes. I do know that.
This was posted in 2020, I believe, or 2021, March 13th, 2021. Blues Vladimir Tarasenko lets the fans know that he may not be on the ice because of a suspension, but he hasn't forgotten about the fans.
Okay. I don't remember him being suspended, though.
That was in 2020, March.
March of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yep. And this
it
is
was just
on
before COVID. I don't remember him being suspended. Maybe
and
he
this is
was.
this is on Fox 2 in St. Louis. So I don't think they would be,
Yeah,
let me check it here again. Boy, they worded that wrong. It's when the season was suspended. It said Tarasenko suspended.
yeah,
Stupid people. I hate it when they
yeah,
do that.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking up to that period that he didn't. Yeah, I can see that. No, I don't think Tarasenko's ever been suspended. So
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that Armstrong is going to trade him. I don't. I know what you say, and I read there was an article in the Mailbag, and Dan Rosen wrote it today, where he says nothing leads me to believe that he has rescinded that trade request. Well, I disagree with that. I think everything leads you to believe that he has rescinded that trade request because his trade value is higher now than it's ever been. It absolutely is. It is higher now. There are no questions about his shoulder. There are no questions about his work ethic. There are no questions about his leadership. Right? There none. Absolutely none. So in my eyes, there's no way.
I don't think he's rescinded it. And plus, number one, he didn't demand it. I think if the Blues still come to him and there's a team they want to trade him to, and it's a team he's willing to go to, I don't think he's going to fight him. He's not that type of player. Now, if they try to trade him to the Flames or somewhere up in Canada, I think they're going to have a really hard time convincing him to waive that no trade clause.
Yeah. I read an article. I was so upset when I seen this. This is what gets me when people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody posted something in one of the groups, and it was an article from a Flyers website, right?
Mm-hmm.
A website like the BlueNote Fan Report or the St. Louis Fan Report. And it had, these are the 5 trades. Hold on. Hey, Mike, I'm live right now, bud. I'm good, man. I'm live on the show right now, bud. Okay, thanks, man. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah. But no, actually, I just lost my place.
You were talking about the article that came out from another site.
It was from, and it said, these are the 5 trades that the Blues offered. And it wasn't. If you you got to read the article. First of all, they reference the Athletic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They reference the Athletic. And then when you go and you search the Athletic and you find it, what the article is 5 trades that the Athletic came up with.
Mm-hmm.
That they debated. So someone put something out there as truth that wasn't truth at all.
I know.
Right? That is why I have such a hard time believing that all of this is true. There's too much I'm an evidence guy. Oh no, Mike was actually calling to check on me, Jason. And here's Mike right here. Oh, here we go. Did you see that, Lance?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay. Oh.
Here's the thing. I'm like you. I'm an evidence type of guy. I'm an eye test guy, all of that. And I need all the evidence I can get. And, since that Rutherford article, everybody keeps using that as their point of reference when it comes to the Tarasenko situation. That article was written such a long time ago, and things have gotten so much better. And it's just they continue to take that article, which, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people, really believe it. And I mean, and so one guy sees it, and then they write this article, and then you look at the bottom. Compliments of hockey writers, or compliments of Jeremy Rutherford, or this article's based on, guys. It's like, and I'm not trying to get political. It's like if Biden did something and you went back and quoted something from Trump and tried to say Biden said it. That's how stupid it is.
Yeah, no, and I'm not. I know you're not getting political. I know you're making, just trying to connect things. Yeah, no, Mike's fine, Jason. Mike's fine, bud. Mike's fine. It's simply this, right? One thing that I heard Rutherford say, and this is a fair point, that no one's ever denied it, right? No, and he's and Vladimir Tarasenko never denied that never denied it. I admit that. He didn't confirm it. Now, I will say this. I've read stuff where Ryan O'Reilly had said that, yeah, that happened. Me and him talked about it. Well, that can be misconstrued too, right? That can be misconstrued a little bit. That can be seen differently. There's other things there. I'm waiting on Barry. I really am. I don't know what's going on. We were set for today. I'm not sure. I've sent some messages. I apologize. I mean, this is this is always my fear with a live show and announcing guests, and the guest doesn't show.
Well, we can talk about that article I sent you in Bleeding Blue. Finally, somebody.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read it. I haven't had a chance to read it. But if you want to go and tell everybody about it, go ahead.
It's so spot on, and it talks about how the Blues haven't regressed as much as people think. And he just brings up some great points. And I tried to message him about it and tell him it was a great article. And apparently you can't message him unless he follows you, so on and so forth. So
yeah, on Twitter.
You got to read it, and we can talk about it tomorrow or something. But to me, it's just spot on.
Well, how much of it is stuff that we've been saying?
Oh, probably about 100% of it.
Sounds like maybe he listened to the show and then wrote about it.
Could be.
Mike says, Guy, I want you to know that through any life hardship or struggle, if you could get out of bed every day, every day and do what you love to do, you're doing pretty darn good, and you're doing that right now. Just know that. Love you, buddy. So does everybody. Everybody else on this show, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I got some slack for what I did yesterday. I got some slack here at home. I got a little bit of slack. I lost some subscribers. I knew it was going to happen. Right? I knew it was going to happen. And that's fine. But I felt better doing what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I felt better doing what I did, and, I have deleted the show. It's not out there for everybody, and I don't think anybody recorded it. So, it got almost to 150 views by the time I took it down, something like that. And normally the show gets 30 or 40 views. So it was heavily viewed. It just, that things are what things are. And I handled the situation the way that I felt at the moment it needed to be handled. Right?
Yep.
No, he who has, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone.
Yeah, and those people that are throwing it in your face, it's like it's like the Bible says, before you look at the toothpick in your brother's eyes, look at the rafter in yours. In other words, don't be judging people, and saying they're wrong and doing this and doing that, because you've got just as many problems and you sin just as much as the other guy does. So,
Yeah, no,
it goes both ways.
no, absolutely it does. And the thing about this, and I don't want to talk about it too much,
No,
but
that's fine.
the person had no right to interject himself and become the moral police of my life. None. Absolutely none.
Yeah, it's sad when that happens, and I know some people feel like they're doing the right thing, but you got to ask yourself before you go off on somebody, how would I feel if how would you feel if somebody treated you that way? You want to treat people the way that you want to be treated, and apparently, I don't know who it is. I don't want to know. They didn't think that way, because I'm sure they've got
Oh
problems
no,
too.
actually, they told me that's the way they thought. They absolutely told me, I believe in the golden rule: do unto others.
Oh, I thought you was going to say he who has the gold makes the rules. That's
No,
what I
no,
thought you
no,
were.
because this person has no gold. Right? This person has told some pretty heavy lies. Right? And there's other things that I could say that I won't say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dime him out. Well, first of all, then he tells me you have permission to put my name out, and I told him I don't need your damn permission. I had put your name out out of respect for the person that I had that I had the liaisons with.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't deserve to have, and she doesn't deserve to have her name put out there. Nothing nothing that she did with me was wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Whether people think you're right, you're wrong, they can have their opinion. But, like I said, they don't need to judge you. And 99% of people that had that weighing on their heart and their mind, like you had, 99% of people would never admit it. They would staunchly deny it and make themselves look better. And you didn't do that. You were honest, whether good or bad or neutral or whatever. You were honest about it and you said what you wanted to say. And, a lot of people wouldn't do that. So,
Lance, you've known me almost 4 years now.
yeah, it's been about 4 years.
I'd like to think that I'm probably one of the most genuine people that you've ever met.
Yeah, I would say out of especially what we call media people. Yeah, and even out of other people, because a lot of people won't tell you what they think of you to your face, but they'll backstab you when you're not around. And you're definitely not that kind of person. And I don't think you're very judgmental, like apparently this person is. And I do think you're pretty genuine. And there's not a lot of genuine people left in the world.
Oh, here's somebody. Here's I didn't expect. Hey, Maddie C, we have not seen you in forever. You've been having fun with your little 4-year-old. Happy birthday to her, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Right? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. You missed you missed something special yesterday. Well, I don't want to call it special. You missed something yesterday. And that was kind of what we were just talking about. I was supposed to have a gentleman on to talk about mental health and hockey today, but for some reason it's there's a I don't know, there's been a miscommunication or a break or something, but unfortunately I'm unable to get a hold of him. Hopefully we can reset this up and try this late, do it again. But what is going on in Bruins land, my friend?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What'd you say?
What is going on in Bruins land?
Not much, just firing coaches and seeing if we
What
keep
do you
Boston
guys
on.
think? What do you guys think? What do you think of getting Montgomery?
Need more enforcers, need more tougher guys, too small.
What about Montgomery as coach?
He's iffy.
Iffy, yeah. See, I was when I heard that, I was not on board with him being hired as the coach.
Yeah.
Lance, you know that.
Yeah,
I thought,
and we had a different look at the what he's been through and where he's going.
yeah,
But my big question with the Bruins, the same thing as it was last year. What are they going to do for a good, solid goalie that can play 50, 55 games and actually put them in positions to win? Because I don't think Jim Montgomery's going to put up with the goalies they got now. I mean, am I wrong, Matt?
No, he's not. And the goalie situation is terrible. We severely underperformed in the playoffs, and it wasn't the Bruins of early. And
Mm-hmm.
time's running out on the veteran players, and you have to keep Pasternak on that roster. You can't give him away.
yeah. They haven't signed him yet, right?
No, me
Who?
and
No, who is it they haven't signed yet? They have a free agent, a big free agent that's still out there. That was,
Pasternak.
yeah. They haven't signed him yet, so he's still. I mean, they got to get a deal done, or it's gone. He walks, or he retires. One of the two, right? I would think.
He he walks, but he'll just go. He'll go to a team that really needs that kind of guy, and he won't. He'll regret leaving the Bruins. I'll just put it that way.
Well, he's a good. I mean, he was a two-way player, obviously. I mean, won what, 4 Selkies, 5 Selkies,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I would love to have a team of him and O'Reilly together.
Yeah, we if it comes in my favor, yeah.
No, not in your favor. But no, the two of those guys together, your
yeah.
defense doesn't have to be as good as you think it can be. It can be more offensive. You can have holes in your defense because they're going to cover it up.
It's not
I
the
don't
sense
think.
of the defense. It's really not. It's not that. It's the toughness. There's nobody that's physically tough. So you have a guy like Trent Frederick, he's a good enforcer in a way, but he's little. He's not a guy who's like, "Oh, here comes, I don't really like Chara, but people are scared of Chara, you know."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Chara was more his size. I mean, the guy was what, 6'5", 6'6".
he was. I think he's about 6'9" on skates.
Yeah, and he was big. He was
Yeah,
220, 240.
yeah, he's a pretty big guy. What
Yeah.
my problem I see the Bruins having, and I haven't looked at their cap situation, but week or two ago they only had a little under 5 million, I think 4.7 or 4.8 left in the cap, and they've only got 21 players signed to their roster. And they're going to have to make a move, I think, if they want to keep Pasternak. And I don't know who they trade and or who they let go or something. But I don't think Pasternak ain't going to sign for $4.5 million, $5 million.
No, but it's the people that teams want are a guy like Charlie McAvoy, or you
Yep.
want you want. I mean, even Bergeron still has stuff left. Obviously, your guy's favorite player, Marchand, but do you? Here's a big question, guy. Would you rather keep Marchand or would you keep Pasternak for long term?
Well, actually, it's Bergeron that we're talking about. Bergeron's the one that's unsigned.
Oh, Bergeron is unsigned. See,
Yeah,
here's the problem with that too. We all remember the great Bobby Orr. Bobby
yeah,
Orr left the Bruins. His health was declining with his knees. He was having
Yep.
very bad knee problems.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, does anybody ever remember him being a Chicago Blackhawk? Does anybody ever remember Cam Neely being a Canuck? No. You're going to
yeah,
remember Bergeron as a Bruin, and he should forever be a Bruin.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to pull up there. I think Pasternak signed for a couple of years, actually. Bergeron that I was talking about. Bergeron. I
No,
think Pasternak still signed for.
Pasternak's only got a year remaining.
Yeah, he's got a year remaining.
Yeah.
Oh, what a contract he had!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Do you see what his cap hit is? Anybody see what his cap hit was?
No, I haven't looked it up.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Are you ready?
Yep.
$6,666,667
Oh my goodness.
dollars.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, that's funny to me.
Yeah, I think Boston's going to have to do a little mini rebuild here shortly because even Jake DeBrusk only has 2 years left, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. I think he's 24, 25 years old. And
Well, that's why that's where Montgomery might be the right guy for that team,
yeah,
because I think Montgomery can handle a somewhat of a mini rebuild or a restructuring.
yeah,
I think they're going to restructure more than they're going to rebuild.
yeah. I don't think it's a full tear down rebuild like the Blackhawks. That's not what I'm saying, but I would call it a mini restructure because Marchand's not going to be there all the time, and Bergeron's not going to be there much longer, and they need to kind of wean those guys out. And I know they're just been great for the Bruins, but it's kind of like with the Blues. The players are still productive, but you've got to look at it and go, okay, I've got these contracts coming due in the next 2 years. I'd love to keep David Perron, but I can't. I don't have the cap space. And I think the Bruins are going to be in a situation like that either this year or after next year.
I can see that.
Well,
I can see that.
another thing I wanted to say too was the Philadelphia Flyers getting John Tortorella was a great idea because to
Yep.
bring the Broad Street back to that team, because
Yep.
that team sucked last year. They sucked, but they had talent on that team.
Yep.
I don't even want to put this Mike Dante. Have you, Lance? Can you see this Dante quote? I don't even want to put it up because I want to smack him upside the head.
Hold on, let me look.
I want to smack Dante upside the head. I do. I want to. Dante's Inferno needs to be smacked right upside the head.
Golly.
Right? Did you see it?
Yes.
Does he need to be smacked upside the head?
Oh, he needs a good smacking.
Yeah, here you go. Smack him.
He needs a good
There you
smacking.
go. Lance, would you support unloading Tarasenko and Shin and bringing Reeves back for a reunion of an AAV of $12 million per year? Oh, we know you are, and that's the other reason you need to be smacked in the head, dude.
But, hey, I'm going to tell you something about Dante. Please don't do that because there are some Blues fans that would gladly do that.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely they would. They would jump on that.
Up until last year, guy, I had a discussion with 3 or 4 people telling me what the guy the Blues missed the most was Scotty Upshaw. And if Scotty Upshaw was here, they'd have won another cup. Well, did they win a cup when Scotty Upshaw was here?
He didn't win the first one. He didn't win the first one. He wasn't even on the team for the first one.
No.
That was Maroon. Maroon took that.
Yep.
Maroon took that.
Yep.
Right? We haven't had a Maroon type guy. We haven't had a Maroon type guy since he left, and that does hurt. That does hurt. But the guy that was supposed to be it hasn't gotten there yet. That's why I think it's time to cut bait with him. That was supposed to be Costin. Costin was the guy that was supposed to be the Maroon type, but with skill. And we haven't seen either side of it.
Everybody talks about how much, the reason we didn't win another cup is because we didn't give Pietrangelo what he wanted. I'm going to tell you that that's wrong because the guy that I missed the most, and I know when he was hurt, he wasn't playing well. But when I would rather have a 32-year-old Jay Bouwmeester than a 32-year-old Alex Pietrangelo every day of the week. The Blues missed Jay Bouwmeester big time.
Yeah. Here's one. Well, I'll answer that about the second cup here in a second. Vladdy for David Pastrnak.
I don't think the Bruins would do that.
No way.
No way.
Not here in Boston.
I don't think I'd offer it. I wouldn't give up Vladdy for that. I mean, I know who Pastrnak is. I think you're taking 2 cornerstones for no reason at all. Right? I mean, I almost think you're talking about almost the same style of player.
The best thing the Bruins can do is trade DeBrusk right now
Yep.
I don't like how DeBrusque commented, "I don't want to be here," and then the Bruins signing him to a 2-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Trade him
Yeah.
right away. No way.
Yeah, because what kind of message does that send, Matt? When one of your top players, one of your young top players, after signing a contract, says, "Yeah, I don't really want to be here anyway." I don't. Jim Montgomery can't put up with that in a locker room. You just can't.
The morale of the team went down,
Yeah.
no matter what. And don't get me wrong, guy, like you said, you can see the talent in guys. You can see the
Yeah.
talent in Pasternak. You can see the
Mm-hmm.
talent in different people.
Yeah.
But this kid is talented. He can skate like nobody's business. But when you say something like, "Oh well, I don't care. I'm gonna leave anyway," well,
Mm-hmm.
give us a couple, 3 or 4 players for him,
Yep.
and then okay, no
Yep.
problem.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, the fact that signing a guy that doesn't want to be there to a 3-year deal can help you.
It was 2 years, I thought.
Was it 2 or 3?
Was it two, Matt?
2.
Yeah.
2. So, but that helps you
I think
because
this
that
is his
actually.
final year of that.
Yeah, I think it is. I think
Okay.
he's got one. Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong. He's got one or two. Let me look at it again. Now he's a free agent in 2 years. It says.
Yeah, 2 years. So he's got 2 more years on that deal. So what that does though is that gives you, it gives you some. It expands how you can trade him because he's got term on a trade. You get more when a guy has
Yeah.
term. He's not a rental,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And if you've got that, who's going to back up Bennington in January? Thomas Greiss. Thomas Greiss. I still think Greiss will. Right? I think.
I don't understand this whole opinion that Bennington falls apart during the season. Before last year, he was a pretty good goalie. Was he the best goalie in the league? No, but he was definitely in the top 10, 11 goalies in the league the
Oh
last 2
no.
years. Before.
Actually, prior to him having COVID, he was one of the top 5.
Yeah, and people keep acting like every January this guy falls apart. I don't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't. And here's the thing: you mentioned earlier about why we didn't. One of the reasons we didn't win a cup was because we let Petro go. Actually, one of the reasons we didn't win a cup is because Petro was a shitty captain, and when those guys came into the bubble, nobody wanted to be there. They didn't want to defend their cup. They
No.
did not want to be in that bubble. That was Petro's job, and that was Berube's job to get a buy-in from the players to be a hell of a lot better than what they were when they were in the bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Getting
I mean,
back.
that's honest. That's
Yeah,
as
it is.
honest as I can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Getting back.
should have. Boston and St. Louis at the break, at the bubble, were the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
The 2 best teams in the league, and they both went south.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boston, both of them ended up the 4-seeded teams. I think Boston made it through to the second round, but just fell apart in the second round.
Yeah.
I think they got through the first round of the bubble, but they didn't get through the second. They didn't get through this. I think they fell apart in the second.
Yeah, they
But
beat Carolina in the first.
Yep.
yeah, they beat Carolina in the first round and fell apart in the second. But when it comes down to it, it is the captain's job and the coach's job to get the team to buy into what's going on, and they did not.
Yep.
If you want to know why Petro wasn't signed by the Blues, that right there is why if I had offered him a contract after that, I would have pulled it back.
Mm-hmm.
I would have pulled it back because of what I saw in the bubble. And I've kept that opinion quiet because I know people are going to tear me up for it.
I won't.
I won't.
No, I mean it's but I to me, what that team should have at the bare minimum been in the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
They only lost 3 freaking players. 3 players from the Stanley Cup team. 3 players. Get that. 3 players. They lost Maroon, they lost Edmondson, and then they lost Bouwmeester in March. Just about everybody else was there. I don't think they lost anybody else from that Stanley Cup team. So it was leadership. It was leadership why they failed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams like that.
Yep. A
And
lot of
I'm telling you, who's going to be on the rise is the Rangers and Detroit might make a little comeback. They're rebuilding still, but they'll come back.
I don't think they're I don't think they're a playoff team this year. I think that they're going to
Yeah,
just
they're
be
close, but
outside
not
of it.
there.
But I can see Ottawa making the playoffs,
Yep.
and the Rangers have put themselves in a position to be a contender.
Yep.
They
Right?
played really well in the playoffs this year.
Absolutely,
I was
they
impressed.
did.
I was impressed. And,
Right?
you know,
Yep.
the thing that aggravates me the most, Guy and Lance, is that you have, I think the Dallas Stars should have went to the Stanley Cup years ago. But you have that asshole Rick Bonus in there. He's not going to do shit.
He is
He's
not.
fucking terrible. They need a strong leadership coach, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't have it.
Nope.
Didn't Bonus go to the Jets?
I'm gonna tell you right now, their front office is, in my mind, a mess. It's one of the
Didn't Rick
biggest
Bonus
messes
go to
in
the Jets? Didn't Rick Bonus go to the Jets?
If that was recent, I have no idea. But he
I
was
didn't
with
think
Dallas
so.
forever.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I thought
But
he
you might
left
be right,
Dallas. I
guy. I
thought he
think I
left
saw
Dallas
something.
this year.
Yeah, I think I saw something that they fired him.
Yeah, I think
And
Rick Bonus. I think Rick Bonus went to the Jets.
I remember what's his name? To talk about Bruce Cassidy, I didn't think he was a good coach even before they signed him. He's more like a player's
Yeah,
coach. He's been in the
Bonus
organization for too long.
Bonus is currently the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it
right.
must have
They
just
fired him.
happened.
Damn,
So-
guy got one over on the super guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit! How the hell did that happen?
You know,
got a
when
computer
you
in
said
front of
that, guy, when you said that, I could picture reading an article about how he was fired in Dallas, and I'm like, I think Guy might be right.
Holy shit! Wow.
Getting back to Boston, and in my mind, I think what the Bruins need to do, and I don't know if Marchand and Bergevin will do this, but those two guys need to step back and maybe play a little less minutes and mentor some of these older guys. I don't think Marchand's the kind of a mentor, but I think Bergeron is that type of player because I think he's done it with some of their younger guys over the last couple of years. If I was them, I'd keep them a little bit longer and make sure, they're happy, but, try to get them to teach some of these younger guys some work ethic and how to be a little physical because, I know Marchand takes a lot of bad penalties, but when he doesn't take stupid penalties, he can be that tenacious guy on the ice that really gives other teams problems. And if they could just get him and Bergeron to teach some of these younger guys, maybe in 2 to 3 years, you've got a mini rebuild, but it's not a major rebuild.
Yeah, it's more of a retooling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go, Lance. Can you see this comment, bud?
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just saying, there is no leadership besides Bergeron. Marchand's not a leader.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you heard that, guy. You heard that from me. You came out of my mouth.
I know. You're the only Boston
Bergeron
fan I know. Well, actually, I've talked to more than a few Boston fans that don't get on the Marchand chain. Right?
But
they don't.
Bergeron's the only leader on that team. There's no leadership besides Patrice Bergeron.
Who's the young defenseman they have? Charlie Coyle, is that it?
No, he's a center.
He's not a defenseman.
They've got a young like high draft pick or young superstar on their team. I can't think of who it is. I thought he was a defenseman. I thought they and he's from the Boston area, I think.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I forget his name. He's from the North Shore of Massachusetts.
Charlie McAvoy.
Oh yeah, Charlie McAvoy. Yeah,
right.
He's
24 years. That is a guy that I think could be that type of up and coming leader. And at $9.5 million a year, you better be.
Right? Look all the teams have passed with the Bruins. In the years of being good in this league, in the late 2000s. You had even McQuaid, for Christ's sake, was a leader. Mark Recchi was a leader.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that. We had a couple pipsqueaks like Tyler Sagan and shit. But then he goes to Dallas, he plays well. But again, nobody to lead him. What are you gonna have? Jamie Benn?
Yeah. No, I got you.
You got me
I
going
still
tonight,
see
guy.
that Jamie Benn moment with Petrangelo. That rubs me the wrong way.
Yep, it always has me
And
too.
you know what else rubs me the wrong way with that? You know what else rubs me the wrong way with that? And maybe you guys will see it or not. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't have a video on it, maybe I'll have to look it up for a later time. But Trangelo and Ben go into the boards behind the net. They both fall down. Petrangelo's laying on the ice. Jamie Benn sits up on top of Petrangelo and sticks his glove in Petrangelo's face before he leaves. That was a absolute disrespectful moment right there. Now, part one of this is Petrangelo doesn't get up and just chase after him and take the 5 minute, whatever. It doesn't matter. That at that moment, you needed to do that. The
Well,
other the thing that bugs me, hold on.
Go
The
ahead.
thing that bugs me the most is that nobody else did either.
Yep.
What does that tell you? Here's your captain. He just got disrespected, and not one Blues player stood up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not one Blues player stood up for him. You want to know why I think that Petrangelo got let go? I think that has a lot more to do with it.
Well, if you remember, Guy, people are saying, well, we can't let him go because he is the leader. And I said, guys, if you knew what I know, you would know that he can speak up at times, but he's not this great leader that everybody talks about. Petrangelo was more the guy that tried to set example by his play on the ice. And people didn't believe me. And I think that little scruffle there with Jamie Benn putting his mitts in his face and him just sitting there saying, please give me more, Jamie. I need more. Yeah. And then he didn't do anything. And then nobody else did anything, because if he was that great of a leader, somebody on that team would have went over and started beating the Shiite out of Jamie Benn. They really would have.
I agree. And I'm gonna bring up this comment because I so disagree with it. Blues Taters never really stand up for anyone. First of all, I remember Braden Shen going after Kadri after Falk got knocked down. I remember Tereshchenko going after somebody after, I think it was Blaze got hit 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I've seen more Blues players stand up for the others than anybody else.
Well,
right?
heck, even
but I do see this, and I do see where you can say that, because you see what happened to you can see what happened to Bennington with Kadri, and nobody went after Kadri at that point. Well, the reason nobody went after Kadri at that point was because they were warned.
Yep.
And then the next game, when you probably could have had that chance, you had all the racial and religious stuff come up, and that absolutely took it away.
Yep.
Right? That put all the power in Kadri in Kadri's basket. So at this point, I'll disagree. All right, Colin Smith here. Colin's the one that had me bring up on this Petrangelo thing, because he sent me a message earlier to ask him, why didn't we do good in the bubble? We should have beat Vancouver. Absolutely, we should have. Absolutely, we should have. The only team that I think we would have had trouble with in the bubble was Vegas. I think everybody else we should have beaten. I do somewhat remember him getting hit, but I don't think it was a tackling.
No.
Because he lit it up in game 4. And what sucked is I knew it was going to happen, because I remember after the show saying, no, I think Kadri's going to finally do something, or during one of the intermissions. Who do we dislike more, Ben, Kadri, or Marchand?
Kadri.
Huh?
Kadri.
Yeah, I'm with Kadri. I mean, that's a tough choice, though. That's a tough choice.
Here's my thing.
That's a tough choice.
Is I bet you if Marchand was in the Western Conference, you would not like him even more. You would,
Oh yeah.
but you guys don't play him as much as
Well,
Yeah. No, you're
here's the
right.
thing. Here's the thing. Brad Marchand has done a lot of things, but he's never taken out our goalie when the goalie came in and took over and was really, really it changed the way the Blues played against Minnesota, and I think was going to end up beating Colorado in that second round. If Marchand did that, then I would say definitely Marchand. But since Kadri did that, it's got to be Kadri for me.
Yeah, no. So Ryan Green's, I know he's being facetious here. Nobody knows more than you, guy. And he's being facetious. Thank you, my friend. Ryan Green says they didn't finish in Mortal Kombat style. They should have. They absolutely should have.
there really is no big hate for anybody as a Bruins fan as of late. But I think the last person that we really didn't like was what's his name? Matt Cook from way back. There hasn't been a
Let's see.
complete hatred.
Colin Smith says, do you think we would have won the series if Kadri doesn't take Benner out? I do. I will stand with that. I do think we win that series. I think we win game 3. And then after that, we're up 2-1 and everything else changes because what happened in game 4 doesn't happen. Right?
I disagree with that.
But why do you disagree with that, Matty?
I just think your team had enough talent to win that series. I really do. In the goalie situation,
I do. But when Bennington was playing, I know everyone thinks Husso's level was up here because of how he played during the regular season, and Bennington's level was here because of how he played during the regular season. Reversed. There was a huge difference in the level of how they played in the playoffs. And it wasn't, starter backup. It was starter backup. There was that much of a gap. And while, yes, you can say that. Go ahead, Manny.
I'm just saying by offensive and defensive standpoint, you could have. And you guys were playing very well.
The
and the goaltending
really did affect it. The goalie affected it. And then to have well, I mean, he gave up. Husso gave up a goal on either the first or second shot when he came back in the game. Right? You can't do that in a 1-0 game. Right? Mm-hmm. I remember when the Blues took Ben out with a Parayko slap shot to his collarbone that he couldn't stand up anymore. And the backup goalie came in. I forget who it was at the time. And then I think it was Kyrou came right down, his rookie season, came right down the left-hand side and just planted one. You have to take advantage of that. And that's what Colorado did. But at the same time, Husso was not a backup goalie. Husso was supposed to be a guy that could be a starter goalie. A starter goalie in a backup role still has to be able to stop that.
We didn't have that guy. We didn't have that goaltending. We didn't have any of that this year. It was like, put somebody in net. I'd rather have the goalie who won whatever the award is for the college goalie of the year. Put him in. It was like the same thing.
You know what? I remember this now. Chris Shockley brings this up. Kadri was hit by DP, and Bushnevich jumped him in game 4, and everyone said Kadri was assaulted. What they forgot about was what Kadri did to Bushnevich back on the other end, right? He elbowed Bushnevich. I remember that now. You are correct. And then we ended up with two double minors. Or, we ended up on a 2-minute 5-on-3 that they capitalized on. I remember that now. Right? Benny beats the Avs handily. I don't know about handily. I think it would have gone 7. But I do think that I do think that the Blues could have had it. I do think the Blues could have had it. Wow, man, that was a fun hour. Sorry, guys. You know what, guys? I apologize. I don't know what happened with the guest. It was set up, and unfortunately,
I showed up. That's what you were waiting for, right?
No. Oh, I don't mean that bad. Manny, I have never, not once, told you not to come on the show. You know that.
I
Okay.
love getting the link. I feel like I'm welcome and I appreciate it.
You know, if I had 4 or 5 people on here, I might back you out. For the most part, if I have the room, I'm going to bring you in. Right? I wouldn't have you in that chat if I didn't want, you to have that opportunity. Right? So you are always welcomed here, my friend.
I
We
appreciate
do
it.
the best we can at any time. And I've enjoyed the relationships that I've had with fans from other teams, and I hope this doesn't sound unhumble, but it's how many fans from other teams want to come on a Blues show and then tell you, and I don't mind rooting for the Blues because of this show. I've had that happen more than once.
I I can't say I root because I don't have the statistics as I do, but you're a Blues encyclopedia, so I can know what happened in the game. So
I don't know about being an encyclopedia, but I appreciate that. It just goes to show, to me, that tells me I'm doing something right. That's all there is to it, right? Wendy, yeah, Wendy coming on. Yeah, Wendy's the encyclopedia. And he's probably the only one that doesn't. Hey, a big thank you to Nath Papon, Patrick Grumbiter, Lance, Tammy, Brad Pond, Kyle Howard, Chris Shockey, and one more who I can't see his name anymore. Putting those thumbs up on Facebook. If you do it on YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. Also, real quick, let me tell you this. I am looking for someone to help me with the PR, to be able to maybe share the show in groups and things like that for me. If you are willing to do that, send me a message and we'll talk about it. Do need you to try and be here every night to do it, but we love you, man. I love each and every one of you. If you're willing to help me out, let me know. Person that used to do it for me has decided that he no longer wants to do it, so that's on him, not me. Is what it is. Guys, thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. I don't know what else I can say. You've made my night tonight, especially after what happened last night. Um, and again, thank you for showing up, Lance. I know you're not feeling good, but any FaceTime you can give us, and I know you have permission to be on video, on audio only. We greatly appreciate.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and Maddie, like I said, man, I love you. I try and watch your channel when I can. I've been following you and your daughter. I think I want to see. I'm so bad with names. About Sadie, right?
yes, sir.
See,
You
wow,
got
guy
it,
got
guy.
it
You
right.
got it.
2 for 2
Sadie
tonight.
just had within the last couple of days her 4th birthday, and has had, Maddie has really treated her well, and I absolutely love that for him. Here's a last question for you before you go away: is Swayman the goalie of the future?
I knew the show was ending soon. Thank you everybody for. No, there is no goalie future right now.
You never know when that 24-year-old guy that's been harping around in the minors gets his chance and leads you to a Stanley Cup.
Or a 40-year-old man like Tim Thomas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tim Thomas, absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much. This is Guy the Hawaii Blues for Matty C, Sports for You and Me, and Lance the Scott of the Drop, saying aloha and mahalo. And I'll see you next time on the BlueNote Fan Report, because you got to know that I'm bleeding blue with you.